Jump Force Season 2 DLC has been awesome thus far. Meruem has been officially announced as one of Jump Force's Season 2 DLC characters, of course representing Hunter x Hunter, and the community loves his addition to the game. But the only thing left to question for the Jump Force community and my perfectionists here on YouTube is who are the final 3 Jump Force Season 2 DLC characters. Well, in what is the single best Jump Force video here on YouTube, I, your host Perfection, the best undefeated player on the game itself, will be going over the new Jump Force Season 2 leaked character list that covers the characters from Yu Hakusho, Bleach, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Before that, however, I already know you're going to enjoy the content here from the god of the FGC and the AFGC. Hit that subscribe button, click that notification bell to get the new anime info and discussions, anime games, ranked battles, and news coverage from games like Jump Force, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, Dragon Ball Fighters, and One's Justice 2 from the YouTube channel where the quality is in the name itself. Perfection. So the first series we're going to be jumping into is Bleach, and this is a character that's highly requested, even more so than Kenpachi, more so than Byakuya. This is a character that is very popular right now with 1000 Years Blood War art, and a lot of people want to see him animated. Of course, I'm talking about Yak. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm going to say Yak. So this is a character that I tried my best with his moveset because it's going to be hard to translate because his ability is to see into the future, and it's ridiculous. So like, how do you even make that translate into a Jump Force moveset? Well, I did my best, and this is what I came up with. So his first move is going to be Sanct Altar, which is going to be like a trapping maneuver that follows the opponent around. Of course, better than Frieza's Destructo Disc or Death Disc or whatever, Death Slicer. It's going to be better than that. It's going to be tracking them with like a pillar of light. And the extra perk to this maneuver is going to be that it will drain meter from the opponent and give it to Yak. Now this is going to be very true to the ability in the source material in the manga and probably the anime as well, because yeah, the Bleach anime is coming back. And I mean, I feel like this is going to be a very meta move in my mind. And I think it's not to the point of being broken the way that I've set it up. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now, moving right along, we're going to be talking about his second move. And I always like to add some defensive variations to characters because they can't all be offense-based characters, just all attacking moves. Honestly, you can't have all buffing moves because most buffing moves is just like, man, attack up, defense up, and they don't really mean that much in the grand scheme of things unless they last indefinitely. So we're going to be talking about Blood Vein on Haben, which is basically a shield. Now, we don't have that many shield abilities in Jump Force. Currently, we only have one with Aizen, which is just really to get his Black Coffin ability off. But Blood Vein I want to see as like a traveling shield that follows Yak around for a set amount of time. And that's just purely meant to combat spam, like maybe it blocks projectiles, blocks melee attempts for a set amount of time. Nothing too ridiculous, maybe 10 to 15 seconds. Somewhere in that ballpark. You don't want to make it too short to where the ability is irrelevant. Maybe the time that you will get it will be dependent upon how much meter you put into it. So like if you use it at maybe 3 or 4 meter, you'll get 15 to 20 seconds. And if you use it at a lower meter value, you'll get 10 seconds. Somewhere in that ballpark. Maybe you can play around with that. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Now the third move, I wanted to be a glorified teleportation ability. You know, just to reference more of his manga feats and abilities and skills. And of course, we're talking about his shadow teleportation. And I mean, just for combo ability. That's really what I'm going with here. And just to make him a more unpredictable character that spammers can't really settle in against. Again, maybe just better than instant teleportation Kamehameha, or maybe when you hold the charge button for melee ability, something better than that where you can literally do it at any point on the map and get to the back of the opponent. Again, everything I do on these movesets is meant to combat spamming and make it a little bit more difficult for those type of players to camp, spam, run their little setups. I'm introducing new characters into the meta that can combat the current meta. So let me know what you think about that ability and skill in the comment section down below. Now, his ultimate ability, I went into thinking about this very much. He has a lot to pull from, and I came up with this. Saint Bogen Hilig Pifel, which is just a really big arrow attack. But the way that I have it in mind, it's a flurry, a mass of arrows. And I want to reference Naruto Storm 4 because we did have an Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan Sasuke that did an arrow like a Amaterasu ability where all the arrows fell from the sky and he just triggered a huge Amaterasu flame around the opponent. I want to go for something like that with Yak's ultimate because it's something that we've never seen before in Jump Force, and I think that would be something that Yak could bring to the table. Now, for his awakening, he already uses a sword, he already has his different moves and abilities, so his awakening, I'm going for the Reishi Broadsword. It's going to be the same move set, but while he's awakened, I want him to be able to teleport anywhere on the map, even more so than what he'll already be doing, because with his melee I can see him being just like Aizen in what he does, and then when he awakens he can literally do this anywhere on the map. That means if he's all the way to the other side of the map, if he's awakened, he can get to you when he starts doing his melee abilities. And this is what's going to set him apart from Aizen, maybe make him a better Aizen. Of course, it's going to make him a meta character, but that's our goal in all of this. So let me know what you think in the comment section below as we move on to our next series. So the next series we're going to be talking about is Yu Hakusho, and the final antagonist of the series, Yomi. Now I feel like by virtue of being the final antagonist of Yu Hakusho should buy him a spot in Jump Force for the Yu Hakusho roster. I mean, out of all the characters you could pick, I feel like that final antagonist rank should give him a spot of prominence on the Jump Force roster. So his move set, he does have an interesting move set to pull from. He has a lot of different abilities that he displays in the show that can easily make him a move set. So let's go over them. So the first one would be his energy absorption shield, which I feel like that would be great to have in Jump Force. So it's pretty basic in how you would explain it. He puts up a barrier around himself, and whatever projectiles would hit him would directly fill his meter. So I feel like that would be a great ability to have because a lot of people like to sit back and spam Vegeta's maneuver as a support or assist. A lot of people like to awaken with Goku and throw out the Kamehameha a million different times. And I think this should also apply to ultimates for people that just like throwing out free ults, and you would instantly fill his meter all the way to 4 off of one ult. Yes, I feel like you should have an ability that renders projectiles useless to make people think outside of the box. So if you're a person that just sits there and you spam projectiles, let's say this ability works on Dark End, that would instantly be a meta changer. I would love seeing this ability come in and counter Dark End. That way you don't have to nerf Dark End, you just introduce a stronger counter to it. And again, it would help out the meta. It counters Vegeta, it counters all other projectile maneuvers. So when people see Yomi or a CAC pull up, you can't just sit there all match and just spam projectiles from the other side of the map. Now I've also thought about making it transfer into his health, and I think that's a good avenue to take too. So maybe both health and meter, or maybe once you fill up your meter it then fills up your health or something of that nature. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But this is his one like contribution to the move pool and meta to Jump Force, and I feel like that would be a big contribution. Now his next ability is pretty much generic. It is a projectile technique, but I feel like you can have some different uses to it, and it would be his green energy blast. Nothing special about it. I feel like it would be like a big bang attack where he would just throw out a big green energy blast. Maybe you could have some really elite tracking. Maybe you could do more damage if you charge it, or something of that nature to give it an extra functionality or purpose. But pretty straightforward. This would be his damaging maneuver in Jump Force. So his next ability would be a advanced portion of that, and it would be his green energy blast volley. And again, this would be somewhat like Vegeta's Energy Blast Volley, but I wanted to do more damage. This is a DLC character. If you're paying for a DLC character, you want everything ramped up to 11 because you paid for it. So I feel like this would do some good damage. Nothing insane like one attack for half a bar, you know, but a decent chunk. I feel like 20 to 25%, so like, you know, somewhere in that realm where you can actually see the damage and not have to squint your eyes, say, did you do damage? Did any of the health go down? No, you want to see that damage, and that's the purpose of that ability. That, you know, so he has 2 damaging maneuvers, 1 glorified counter, so he's giving some big contributions to the meta. Also, with the damage set that high, to scale it down for CAC, it doesn't do as much damage as it would on Yomi, but it still does reasonable damage for a CAC as well. Now, his ultimate ability is the be-all end-all, the Green Tornado Blast, and I can see this working. Yes, I want this to be the first real-time ult, because I think the flaw with a lot of ults in Jump Force is that they're all cinematic and the opponent can act during the cinematic portion. So let's say you throw out an ult, your opponent can already be blocking. I feel like that ruins so many ults in Jump Force. So I want this to be a real-time ult that doesn't do the cutscene. That's something that you actually have to look out for the animation for. So this would be something you can sneak someone with. Like, okay, I see he's at awakening status. When is he gonna use it? I'm not gonna get that big warning scene like all the other ults that's, you know, in the game currently. What I want this ability to do is to function like Todoroki's Dancing Flame. And basically what that means is like a bigger version, like a bigger cone. Like he throws out the, you know, the wind gust blast, the green dark energy wind blast, you know, gust or tornado cone, whatever, and it would hit the opponent. So it would just sneak them. Like you would just throw it out and it would sneak them in that cone. And then after it hits like that, that's when you would get the cinematic. So it's nothing that you would get a huge telegraph for, where you could just, oh, I'm just gonna hold block, or oh, I'm just gonna move to the side. No. If you're not paying attention to the match, you're gonna get hit by this and it's gonna do some big damage. And also I feel like maybe it could leave you hanging in the air for combos, because I mean, we need some abilities that do something different in this game. All the ults basically function the same. It's just the, oh, this does big damage move. Like, we need something that does something else for a change. So let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Of course, we're going to be moving on to our final series, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. So for JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, I feel like this character is going to be an unexpected one, but it's going to lead into a series of other characters that people are going to love. But this character in particular is one that the fan base would absolutely explode for. Yes, I'm talking about Yoshikage Kira in Jump Force Season 2 DLC. Yes, and more yes. So his stand is Killer Queen, and I feel like you already know what this stand does, but we're going to go over his abilities that would come into Jump Force and that would make him a true weapon to go against. So, first ability would be his transmutation ability, and I feel like this would be just like an ability where Killer Queen punches the opponent and turns them into a charge. And at any point when you retouch the input, it would cause them to explode, and it does different chunks of damage. Now I feel like maybe if you hold the ability, you would get a bigger explosion. It would be a bigger chunk of damage done to the opponent. At least that's what I have in my mindset right now. And I mean, a pretty standard ability, but let's take it one step further, because what I want to see it, you know, do is maybe attach to different partners. Like, we don't have any abilities currently that transfer between partners, and like if you touch them with the charge, it doesn't go away because you switch. In fact, if they take the opportunity to do so, I feel like maybe this could be an ability that works regardless. I was about to go for, oh well, if they're on the map, you can hit the charge and do the explosion ability and hit them for a chunk of damage, and also hit the current character that's on the stage and potentially get double damage. And sure, I want to go that avenue too, But let's say that they're not even on the field and you hit that charge ability, you still do the huge chunk of damage to the opponent. So they're thinking they're safe. Oh, I switched my character out, I'm all good. No, your character is sitting, back in the wings, waiting or whatever, but you hit that charge ability, it takes away a chunk of your damage out of nowhere. Imagine, that's so unique. That would be so unique and, very much needed in Jump Force, but we need some abilities that are currently, outside of the box, because all the abilities we've gotten is, either straight damage, straight stat up, it's very straightforward, but we need some kind of ability that is outside the box. And, currently we kind of have Law that, does his switching abilities, his force switch and all that. But imagine Yoshikage Kira doing that charge ability that spreads amongst supports, current characters, can trigger regardless of whatever characters on the stage. Imagine that in Jump Force Season 2 DLC. Now, moving on, his next ability would be the tank ability. Now, if you watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, Diamond is Unbreakable, you already know how annoying that tank was. But imagine it in Jump Force. So for maybe 2 meter, he could summon the tank and it would follow the opponent indefinitely, unless they just sat there and blocked it. And let's say that you put more meter into it to make it an unblockable. It attaches to the opponent, it explodes, it does a huge chunk of damage. But the whole thing is that you're making the opponent run. Now just sit up there. I don't even think I need to add the extra meter making it an unblockable thing. I think that might be a disservice to the ability. Just make an ability that tracks the opponent indefinitely, and once they're caught, they're caught. This would be dangerous to jump blockers, people who like to sit on block. No, you're not gonna sit on block with this tank following you that can bust you down for huge chunks of damage. And again, everything I'm presenting here in this video is meant to change the meta of Jump Force, especially in Season 2 DLC of Jump Force, with Yoshikage Kira as the Jump Force JoJo's Bizarre Adventures representative. Now, the third ability, I'm either thinking it's going to be his Awakening or his ult, and I want it to be the Stray Cat Plant Air Bubbles. Like, yes. Now, I feel like it could work both ways. I feel like it could be his ultimate. He just throws it out, it causes air bubble explosions. Okay, good, whatever. But in his awakened state, he just gets the Stray Cat and all the other abilities, but maybe one of his abilities flips to the Stray Cat ability and it just sends out air bubbles. So you got Killer Queen doing this thing, you got the air bubbles doing their thing, tracking the opponent across the map, and this has the potential to make Yoshikage Kira the new best JoJo's character in Jump Force. Because right now, Dio and Jotaro, they're pretty even, but we need a character that kind of trumps both of them. And letting Yoshikage Kira do everything that I've built up in this video would definitely make him that character to finally dethrone both of those characters and present a brand new meta. I know you like today's Jump Force Season 2 DLC characters lineup. Press that subscribe button with utter perfection and watch some of the videos linked down below in the playlist that pops up on your screen right now. Click that notification bell to get all the top anime fighting games, anime games information here on the place where the quality is in the name itself, perfection.